The second day of YNW Melly's trial was unusual. Here's what you need to know. The trial starts with reports of YNW Melly prayed in court this morning before his trial started. However, it wasn't until the first recess where we noticed unusual activities by YNW Melly, with videos going viral of Melly acting strange in the courtroom. This would even lead into the next break where YNW Melly is seen doing some weird head movements while also flexing his diamond grill in court. I'll remind you, this is a trial that could result in the penalty for this man. However, things continued to look rough for YNW Melly, as we would see reports of YNW Melly seen smiling in good spirits in court as his trial starts today. However, the mood would quickly change, as it was reported YNW Bortlen had powder residue on his hands and a change of clothing for when he dropped off Sakchaser and Juvy to the hospital. YNW Bortlen and YNW Melly were the only two men in the vehicle with them, including a video of YNW Melly's lawyer breaking it down.
His lies, those were his lies. Cortland Henry shows up at Memorial Hospital, Miramar. You don't see him sitting there, but where you will see him sitting is in the driver's seat of a car with two bodies, car riddled with bullets. And when he shows up with a change of clothing, change of shirt, powder residue on his hands, evidencing that he had discharged a firearm. And he lies. He lies about where the incident occurred. He lies about how it occurred. And he lies about not having a phone. I think it was Miss Bradley herself who said, everybody has a phone in his pocket. Not Cortland Henry. There were 3 phones.
He turns out to be YNW Melly's own lawyer. He revealed that YNW Bortlen is the one that lied to the feds when they were asking him on what happened to Sakchaser and Juvy, where this happened, and so much more. And he also revealed that YNW Bortlen weirdly brought a change of clothes to a recording studio, as it's now pretty obvious that he knew something was going to go down on this night, as the interview of YNW Bortlen lying to the feds was also shared.
And I'm driving, ducking for my life, trying to make sure I don't get hit. And you telling me, you telling me about some shit. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to make sure I don't get hit. I'm driving. I'm trying to make sure I don't get hit. You know what I'm saying? What I'm gonna be worried about? You know what I'm saying?
I know it's not for you to worry about.
Shit crazy, bro.
But if you tell me it happened there's gotta be some evidence there. There's gonna be broken glass, just like there's broken glass over here from when you guys open the doors and stuff like that. Okay, there's gonna be broken glass over there when the windows got out. There's gonna be casings from the people at your car. Okay, there's gonna be evidence over there. Okay, right now there's nothing. I kind of think I know what happened because I got information.
Shortly after, the famous rap lawyer that everyone knows and loves would confirm that this was actually YNW Melly's attorney, and he would also confirm much more.
And we have an absolute shell being dropped by the defense, a mic drop moment. The lead attorney on Melly's defense team telling the jury that Cortland Henry lied to police when he showed up at Memorial Hospital that morning. He lied about happened. He lied about not having a phone on him. That Cortland Henry, this is according to Melly's attorney, that Cortland Henry showed up at that hospital with a change of clothes on, and that Cortland Henry showed up at that hospital with powder residue on his hands.
On the next set of conversation in the trial, we would even see reports of prosecutors show video of YNW Melly hopping in a car that was involved in his friend's passings, while also sharing this footage.
Excuse me, you're able to see? Yes? All right.
However, this is where things would turn strange, as when this video clip was being showed to the courtroom, we would see YNW Melly as well as his other attorney chatting and laughing in the courtroom.
Oh, Jada is Anthony's? What about Chris's? Do they live here or in Barrel? The mom? Who lives with you at 18521 Southwest 44th Street?
Which is pretty strange behavior for the type of seriousness in a trial such as this. When YNW Melly and his lawyer was done laughing and joking around, the next conversation topic would be presented. This would be, what was YNW Melly and Bortlen doing for the 40 minutes after Juvy and Sakchaser's passing, where they sat in a parked vehicle, not moving or doing anything. What we learned was after the crime was committed, Bortlen and Melly sat around for 40 minutes. YNW Melly used that time to make the car appear as if it went through a drive-by, which would be their excuse when Bortlen drove them to the hospital. But he also used this 40 minutes, as it was shared. Prosecutors say Fredo Bang picked up YNW Melly after the incident, involving YNW Juvy and YNW Sakchaser, revealing that YNW Melly was using this time to make a few phone calls, asking for somebody to pick him up.
And Chris Thomas are. So what you're also going to find out is while Mr. Devins is out there on the side of the road, 4 in the morning, 4:42 specifically, he sends a drop pin, digital homing beacon, to his current location, to one of his friends, Frederick Givens. Frederick Givens is also involved in the music industry, and he asked to be picked up. Frederick Givens, then about 11 minutes later, is sent another drop pin, where Mr. Devins has moved a couple of meters. What you're going to find out as well, though, is these digital leashes, they have more than just phone calls.
Now knowing what YNW Melly was doing, YNW Bortlen was using that 40 minutes to change his clothing into the fresh new clothes that he brought mysteriously with him for this night. He also used this time to try to create an excuse on why Juvy and Sakchaser had just sadly passed. Now with all of this case-breaking evidence being shared in the courtroom, it would go to recess, which is when rap OG Boosie would react, sharing this to his Instagram. Rappers would then reveal the next topic of conversation during the trial is, why would YNW Melly do this crime? What was the motives? After months of research, the feds realized that days before the passing of Juvy and Sakchaser, YNW Sakchaser was caught messing around with YNW Melly's at the time girlfriend. Melly's ex-girlfriend's mother would do a deposition, as during the interview, the police officer asks his ex-girlfriend's mom, "Were you aware that Sakchaser sent your daughter some rather special type of photos?" Where she responds, "Yes, I am. You saw those pictures." She replies, "I didn't see them, but she called me. Then they came over. She was in Tallahassee during that time, and she told me about them." This could easily be seen as a motive for YNW Melly to do this act towards Sakchaser, as the setting of Sakchaser and Juvy's passing was almost a perfect retaliation attempt. However, one more motive would then mysteriously pop up. After researching YNW Melly's mom's Instagram page, they found something interesting. So it was revealed that Sakchaser was set to receive 200 grand from YNW Melly and his record label. However, prior to Sakchaser getting this record deal, YNW Melly's mom would post this video to her Facebook.
Show me text messages from Sakchaser, all her friends, and all these people. Like, he's about this life. But I'm saying, like, who you ever out at? What you ever did? You couldn't even take charge. If you don't sit your down and don't ever come for me, because my credentials is real. It ain't even a joke. So don't ever try to come for me, because I don't even play them type of games. Like, what you got that I ain't got? Oh, you your little. I got big. At the end of the day, Melly is my child.
This would go on to create a real mystery for law enforcement. To find answers on why Melly's mom said this online, the police would attempt to subpoena 300 Entertainment, the record label that was trying to sign YNW Sakchaser. However, the detectives explained that the company refused to honor our subpoena. Now, the feds would have to go on to ask YNW Sakchaser's mother, Jana Thompson, to expand on the record deal and $200,000 payment during a March 2022 deposition. Though she specified she didn't know exactly who the alleged payment was from or what it was even for, she said that her son Sakchaser reached out to her a few days before he sadly passed, where she said, and I quote, "My son hysterically called me," she said. "He was very concerned about my whereabouts. He was concerned about his sister's whereabouts. He just seemed very concerned, like something is gonna happen to us. And then he told me he would not get his money." She continued saying, "He said, I'm probably not gonna get my $200,000. I'm probably not even gonna get my money." Now mix this, as well as with Sakchaser going for YNW Melly's at the time girlfriend, maybe there was some sort of jealousy for Sakchaser getting this record deal, or YNW Melly may have just thought he didn't deserve it. But currently, that is the only two motives that the feds currently have. However, with the motives now being shared, we would then start to see announcements of judge lowers threshold for the penalty for YNW Melly if he is convicted, granting a motion to allow jurors to recommend the penalty sentence with an 8-4 vote instead of the regular 12-0 vote. Around a year ago, the entire rap world was celebrating the fact that the penalty was taken off of the table for YNW Melly. Worst case is he was gonna face life inside a prison. However, now on the first day of trial, the judge decides to put it back on the table and make it really easy to happen. Then to follow it up in court, new paperwork was released sharing something even more concerning. The headline of the new papers filed by YNW Melly's lawyers state, "Motion to request enforced discovery cutoff," with details stating, on or about April 10th, 2023, jury selection on this matter commenced. On April 14th, 2023, the state of Florida filed an 18-page report pertaining to forensic testing on the vehicle subject matter to this case. Then again on May 12th, 2023, the state of Florida filed supplemental discovery, adding 3 new witnesses. Then again on May 12th, 2023, the state of Florida filed a 68-page report on the crash date system in the vehicle where YNW Sakchaser and Juvy are believed to have been affected in, along along with 2 additional supplemental reports authored by Detective Williams. This is all very concerning. For context, right when the jury was selected and trial was ready to begin, the feds slammed a 68-page report full of evidence on YNW Melly to the judge. This gives Melly's lawyers now 0 time to create defenses for Melly. A very good comment on this report would go viral. It states, "They are trying to make YNW Melly run out of money. They always do this to people that have reputable lawyers that cost a lot of money. You are not going to beat this case if you cannot afford the good lawyer anymore. Melly's been having to pay for that extremely expensive lawyer for the last 5 years, and he hasn't been able to go out and make more money. I don't think Melly's innocent, but he does deserve a fair trial." Thankfully, according to Melly's team, they believe they have the great defenses on his side to actually win this case.
He built a real great solid team away from just being innocent, because he wouldn't do such a crime. He prepared himself and got a proper, defense. Their job is to handle themselves in trial, not on social media. You guys are taking it that way. If they say they got DNA in a car, I'm just gonna tell you, Melly DNA was found in the car. You're gonna think, yeah, his DNA was found in the car the day of the. Oh, he jumped in a car and his DNA was in the car. He did it, okay? But you're not gonna put the fact that this was his car for 6-7 months on those documents and dockets and just automatically be like, yo, he's fried. You don't even know what the defense is. You don't even know what the rebuttal is. You don't even know why that situation occurred. You hear ballistics flying, you don't know what the defense is. You hear this, you hear that. You get what I'm saying?
I'm gonna be honest.